Coloring is changing me for the better. This all started because I wanted to support one of my favorite creators. Catnip had dreamed of releasing a coloring book for years, and watching her slowly bring that dream to life was so inspiring. When it came time for the pre-orders, buying it felt like a no-brainer. There was just one problem. I don't color, or at least I didn't. My type A hyperproductive brain had completely convinced me that coloring was a waste of time. If I'm being completely honest, there was a little voice in my head saying it was something that was meant for kids. But I decided I wasn't going to let that stop me. I wanted that pre-order sticker way too badly. And even if I never actually used the book, I thought it would look beautiful sitting on my shelf. Maybe one day they would even become collectible. And if they didn't, they would still remind me of something important, that relentlessly pursuing your dreams is worth it, and that choosing a slower, cozier life is just as valid as chasing bigger and bigger goals. In April 2025, Catnip shared that she was downsizing her successful business and moving back home to build a different kind of life. That message couldn't have come at a more perfect time. Just 1 month earlier, I had walked away from my 6-figure job. I was 3 months pregnant, and for the first time in years, I was choosing a different definition of success. One that meant being home. One that meant building a quieter, cozier life with my family. Watching someone else make a similar leap reminded me that dreaming big doesn't always mean climbing higher. Sometimes dreaming big means slowing down. Sometimes it means choosing peace over productivity. When the coloring book arrived, it was honestly so pretty I couldn't bring myself to leave it untouched. So I picked up my markers and started coloring. At first, I was impatient. I just wanted to finish the page. Halfway through, I was already thinking about what I should be doing instead. But when I finished, I remembered looking at the page and feeling surprisingly satisfied. There were a few things I wish I had done differently, so I started another one, and then another one. Somewhere along the way, something shifted. Instead of rushing to be done, I started enjoying the process. For once, I wasn't trying to optimize anything. I wasn't trying to monetize it. I wasn't trying to turn it into content. I was simply coloring because I wanted to, and that feeling was unfamiliar. It turns out there's actually science behind why it feels so calming. Studies have shown that coloring, especially repetitive designs, can lower anxiety in as little as 20 minutes. It works similarly to meditation because you're focused enough to quiet your thoughts, but not so challenged that it creates stress. Your brain slips into what's called a flow state, where the constant overthinking starts to fade into the background. Even the repetitive motion of moving a marker across the page has a calming effect on your nervous system, much like knitting, crocheting, and doodling. So when you sit down to color, you're not just making something pretty. You're giving your brain permission to rest. It took a few coloring sessions before I realized what was actually happening. One day I told my husband, I think all this work I've been doing to build a more intentional life is finally starting to pay off. 10 years ago, when we first started dating, he got to know a version of me that could wander through a craft store and pick up something just because it looked fun. Back then, I hadn't started my full-time career yet. I hadn't experienced the pressure of trying to balance work, a home, finances, cars, a mortgage, and constantly feeling like there was never enough time. Over the years, that pressure slowly chipped away at me. I stopped making space for hobbies that didn't serve a purpose. Everything had to be productive. Everything had to move towards whatever goal I had decided was important that month. And honestly, the goal changed every 6 months anyway. I spent years trying to optimize every hour of my life. Somewhere along the way, I lost the version of myself that simply enjoyed creating. But she's starting to come back. That peaceful feeling you get when you make something simply because it brings you joy, I'm finally starting to feel that again. And honestly, I missed her. This journey towards intentional living has already changed so much in my life. It's changed the way my family eats. It's changed how we spend time together. It's changed what success has looked like to me. And now it's teaching me something I never expected. Making time for things that simply make you happy isn't wasted time. Joy has value. Rest has value. Creating because you love it has value. Maybe that's the most productive thing we can do after all.